Stevie, I guess, first of all, welcome back. I guess what's the feeling like right now ahead of this return from retirement, man?
Just fucking buzzing to be back, man. It's been a long layoff. Just buzzing to be back in there.
Nice. Talk about the decision, right? I mean, I know there was a lot of frustration and things going on when you walked away, but I guess the decision to come back, was it an easy one, or was it one you kind of mulled over a little bit?
Yeah, it's a complicated situation, everything that happened. I signed a new 4-fight contract with the UFC after I beat Michael Johnson. Then my manager Ali was telling me that the UFC were wanting to kind of get rid of me or something. To be honest, even I'm still a little bit confused about it all, but my knee wasn't great back then, so I had a knee issue even before the Michael Johnson fight. I then got matched with Mark Diakese, had to pull out. So yeah, there was talks and maybe going as a free agent and going elsewhere. So that was the plan. I didn't really want to, and then eventually decided to go as a free agent. Then COVID hit. It was pretty hard to get a fight and sign with a new company. So yeah, there was never, I wouldn't say I was wanting to retire at all. It was an emotional decision. I was just kind of fuck the sport, I'm done, because of what happened with the UFC. And now I'm finally back.
That's awesome. I'm curious, because I can tell you were frustrated with the sport at the time, but did you keep training? Were you still a martial artist, in hiding or whatever, or were you dude, I don't want anything to do with it?
This is my life, so because it was one of those ones, I was emotionally retired. A couple of days went by, weeks maybe, and I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do now? It's the only thing I've done for the last 12 years, and it's all I'm good at. How else am I going to make some good money? But yeah, and then I kept busy. I've done since my last Johnson fight. The Paddy Pimlet match was just before that, and then I went on Polaris again against Craig Ures, a high-level judo guy. I beat him. So I've still been able to stay active and in the. It'll be 2.5 years since I've fought when I walk out on Wednesday night, but I've still had that going out in front of the cameras, the stage. Just know the punching part, but.
Knowing your frustrations with everything, was the PFL an ideal format? the idea that I know I'm fighting then, I know I'm fighting then, I know I'm fighting then. Is that incredibly appealing to you?
Yeah. So far, I'm I'm so. What's the word? The way it's ran, it's just so professional. I feel like PFL are going to be doing huge things. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It wasn't so big in the UK, but now they've just signed the Channel 4 deal. So I'd imagine they're going to start really getting the UK fan base. And yeah, to be honest, it just feels the same like when I was with the UFC. And like you said, I know I'm fighting on Wednesday night. I know I'm fighting June 17th. I know where it is. I know I don't know the second opponent yet, but it's pretty good. And I like the point structure. Sometimes in the UFC, I feel like I had some boring fights because I just wanted to win, keep your job. Whereas the PFL structure, you get more points for finishing the fight early. So. I feel like it's going to bring out the old Stevie Ray a bit, where I'm going to come out and try and take them out.
That's Stevie fucking Ray at that point, right?
That's Stevie fucking Ray.
And I guess last thing for me, ideally for you, what's the goal here? Is it just to come in? It's it's been a long time. Is it to go in and just get comfortable and get used to the timing and that sort of thing, or is it let's go in and let's get an early finish, let's rack up them points,
Some people would like to go in and get 3 rounds, get a feel for it. Fuck that. I do that every week in the gym. I'm prepared to do that. Sparring. Yeah, I suppose the only difference I feel from fighting and sparring is the crowd. It's the crowd, the cameras, it's all in your head. The fighting part, I do that every week in the gym. So if I had to choose, it would go in there, fucking punch him once and knock him out, or you know, get a submission or whatever. But yeah, first round stoppage, I would ideally want.
Hey Stevie, first off, happy 7th birthday to your daughter Mila. I was curious about your son Lyle, his MMA development these last several years. As a father, how does it feel seeing him get deeper into this training?
So Lyle, he's not so serious with the training. He comes now and again, trains along with me, but he's more into football or soccer. So yeah, I've not really pushed him to, you know, train. When I started training MMA when I was 19, and then when I was 25, I made it to the UFC. I never had any fighting experience before that, apart from maybe fighting in the street. But so yeah, I'm just gonna let him do his thing. If he wants to play football, if he wants to train MMA, if he wants to eventually fight, I'll let him decide. And yeah.
Lastly, from me, with obviously Paul Craig winning in big ways, how does it feel as a fellow Scotsman seeing him succeed?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, me and Paul had our beef before he was in the UFC. He said some jokes. You know, I don't know whether it was jealousy at the time or whether he was just a bit of a prankster. But there were some things that was family related. He mentioned my kids and shit, so I didn't take too well to that, as you would. But that being said, we've kind of swept it all under the table. And yeah, it's cool to see him doing well. Yeah, it's just crazy how he gets it done. It's like the game plan's to go in, get beat up, and then pull off the triangle. But hey, it's working. He's had so many bonuses, and yeah, he's doing well. So wish him all the best.
Best luck,
Stevie, do you believe in ring cross? Because we see a lot of fighters that spend a lot of years on the sport, then return, and it's like never they left the sport, you know. So for you, do you believe in ring cross or not?
I need to watch what I'm saying if my wife watches this interview, but nah, just they're not needed, I suppose. But you never know. Maybe it will spike the testosterone a bit, seeing a bit of boobies before you go in the fight. Yeah, it's just kind of been a thing that's been there forever. So why not? Yeah.
So talking about the format of the league, for you, you now will look for like to finish the fight early or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to obviously go in there and rush anything, do anything silly. I'm going to take my time, but yeah, it's different to before. I mean, I'm going to try and knock him out from the minute I get in there now, because I know that I'm sure if you win 2 fights by decision, it doesn't mean you're going to make it to the playoffs. So it really depends on how the other fights go. So yeah, there's that little bit more encouragement to obviously try and get a stoppage. I'm going to try and knock him out or submit him in round 1. If I didn't do it in 1, I'm going to try it in 2. If I do it in 2, I'll do it in 3. And if I win by decision, then cool, I'll take that. But I'll be looking for the finish.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Steve.